In this video, I'll be going through the music theory sample paper for grade 2 ABRSM online music theory exam. Alright, so in the first section, it is the rhythm section, okay, and you are asked to circle the correct time signature for each of these bars. So let's go through them. So for these type of questions, right, for time signatures type of questions, you either count in crotchet beats or quaver beats, alright? So let's take a look at this. So if I were to count this in crotchet beats, this is a quaver, and two semiquavers make a quaver. Okay, so this is another quaver. So you notice if I were to count this in crotchet beat, I end up having 1.5 crotchet beats. So you don't have 1.5 over some 4, right, for time signatures. Okay, so we know that it will not be over 4, so that means it is not in terms of crotchet beats, but in terms of quaver beats instead. So since there are 3 quaver beats in a bar, the time signature here is a 3/8 time. Okay, next let's take a look at this. So if you look at this, you notice that there are a lot of notes of high time value. So let's count it in terms of crotchet beats. So you have dotted minor, which is 3 crotchets. So 3 crotchets, 4 crotchets, 5 crotchets, 6 crotchets, and then 7, 8 crotchets. So there are 8 crotchet beats in a bar, and 8 crotchet beats is equals to 4 minimum beats in a bar. So 4 minimum beats in a bar is 4/2. So the time signature for B is 4/2. Next, let's look at C. So let's count C in terms of crotchet beats. So we take a look at this. So you have 3 quavers with a triplet sign below, and this will be equals to a crotchet beat. So there's 1 crotchet beat, 2 crotchet beat, 3 crotchet beat in a bar, and therefore it is 3/4 time. Next, let's move on to section 1.2 of the rhythm section. So in this section, you're asked to add 1 missing bar line to each of the 5 melodies. So let's start off with A. So A has a time signature of 3/2 time. 3/2 times means 3 minimum beats per bar. Or it will be equal to 6 crotchet beats in 1 bar. So let's count it in terms of crotchet beats then. So now I have a dotted minor. A dotted minor is equals to 3 crotchets. Okay. Then here there's a minor is 2 crotchets. So 3 crotchet, 4 crotchets, 5, 6. So total 6 crotchets. So I put a bar line here. Next, let's check whether this is also 6 crotchet beats. 2 crotchets, 3 crotchets, 4 crotchets, 5, 6. So 6 crotchet beats, which is equals to 3 minimum beats. Right. Next, let's move on to B. So B, we have a time signature of 2/2. So 2/2 time means 2 minimum in a bar, or it is the same as 4 crotchets in a bar. Alright, so let's take a look at, let's count it in terms of 4 crotchets in a bar. So 1 crotchet beat, 2 crotchet beats, 3 crotchet beats, and 2 quavers add out to be equals to crotchet. So this is another crotchet beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me draw a bar line here. Next, 1 crotchet beat, 4 semiquavers make a crotchet, 2 crotchet, 3, 4. So 4 crotchet beats here. Next, let's look at C. So C is 3/4 time. For 3/4 time, it means 3 crotchet beats in a bar. Okay, so this is equals to a crotchet, right? 1 crotchet, okay, 2 crotchets, and this a triplets. Okay, this triplets is equals to a crotchet beat. So 1, 2, 3, 3 crotchet beat. Okay, this 2 add out to be equals to 2 crotchet beats and 1. So 3 here as well. So each bar has 3 crotchet beats. So we have 3/4 time here. Next, let's move on to D. So in D, it is 2/4 time. So in other words, I need 2 crotchet in a bar, 2 crotchet beats in a bar. So 4 semiquavers is a crotchet. This is also a crotchet beat. So crotchet, crotchet, put a bar line. This adds out to be a crotchet beat. This also adds out to be equals to a crotchet beat, because 2 semiquavers equals to a quaver, and 2 quavers make up a crotchet. So 1 crotchet beat, 2 crotchet beats. So this is the bar line will be placed here, so that you have 2 crotchet beats per bar. Next, we have 4/4 time. So this is equals to 4/4 time. Okay, and 4/4 time means 4 crotchet beats in a bar. Okay, so now this triplet is equals to a quaver. Okay, this triplet add out to be equals to quaver beat, because you can think of triplet as 3 becomes 2. So this 3 triplets, once you put a triplet sign, the time value will be equals to 2 of the semiquavers, and 2 semiquavers equals to a quaver. So these add out to be equals to a quaver beat. So dotted crotchet plus quaver is equals to 2 crotchet beat, 3 crotchet beat, 4 crotchet beat. So I'll place a bar line here. Let's check whether there are 4 crotchet beats as well here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Next, let's move on to question 1.3. So they ask how many semiquavers are there in a dotted crotchet. So in a dotted crotchet is made up of a crotchet and a quaver, and a crotchet is equals to 2 quavers. So in other words, right, each dotted crotchet is equals to 3 quavers, and each quaver is equals to 2 semiquavers. So 1 quaver equals to 2 semiquaver. So therefore, your 3 quavers is equals to 6 semiquavers, and 3 quavers is equals to a dotted crotchet. So the answer is 6. Okay. Next, how many crotchets are there in a semi-brief? So this is a semi-brief. So a semi-brief has 4 crotchet. Is equals to 4 crotchet beats. So the answer is 4. Okay, next let's move on to 1.4. So in 1.4, you're asked which one is grouped correctly, right? So remember, for 4/4 time, right, we group beat by beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we can group 1 and beat 1 and beat 2 together, beat 3 and beat 4 together, but beat 2 and beat 3 cannot cross each other. Okay, so this is first crotchet beat, this is the second crotchet beat, and this is the third crotchet beat. Remember, the second and the third crotchet beat cannot be grouped together, so this is wrong. This is the first crotchet beat, this is the second crotchet beat, and this is the third crotchet beat. Okay, these should be grouped together. Okay, this quaver here shouldn't be grouped with these 2 quavers here, so this is out. Okay, next, this is first crotchet beat, second crotchet beat, third crotchet beat, fourth crotchet beat. So this is correctly grouped. Okay, so now let's move on to 1.5. So in 1.5, we are asked to show whether the rest are correct or incorrect. So in order to check whether a rest is correct for this type of questions, right, there are 2 things you should look at. First, you need to check whether the time value of the rest is correct. And secondly, you need to look at the rest itself, whether it is grouped correctly. So when we have 3/4 time, we group the rest beat by beat. Okay, and I mean crotchet beat by crotchet beat. So it's 1, beat 1, beat 2, and beat 3. Okay, you should group them this way. So let's take a look at this. This is the first crotchet beat. So the second and third crotchet beat should not be grouped together. Instead, you should group them beat by beat. So this is wrong. Okay. Next, let's look at this bar here. So this is first crotchet beat, this is second crotchet beat, and this is third crotchet beat. So this rest is for the second crotchet beat, so it's correct. Okay, next, let's look at this. 2 quavers make a crotchet. So this is the first crotchet beat, this is the second crotchet beat, this is the third crotchet beat. So notice the rest, the first beat's rest and the second beat's rest, they do not cross each other. So this is correctly grouped. So this is correct. Okay. Alright, now that we have done this, next let's take a look at 1.6. So you are given this bar of music and you are asked which of the following show the above correctly rewritten using notes half the value. Okay, so if you want to rewrite something that is half the value, what you need to do from 2 to time, you just need to take the bottom number and times 2. Okay, top number don't need to do anything. Okay, so from 2 it becomes 2, 4. So all of them have the same time signature. Next, okay, you will need to halve the value. So from quavers, it will become semi-quavers. Crotchet will become quaver. Minim will become crotchet. Okay, dotted minim will become dotted crotchet. So when you want to halve the value, okay, and your semi-brief will become your minim, okay, when you're halving the value. So for these 4 quavers, now they should become semi-quavers. So this is out. So it should be 4 semi-quavers. These 2 crotchets should become quavers. So this is the correct answer. right? Now that we have done with 1.6, let's move on to pitch. So in pitch, you are asked what note it is. Okay, so remember for this type of notes, this type of question, always remember to check the key signature. So this is F, right, for treble clef, but because of the key signature here, this is an F sharp. Okay, then this is your bass clef. So what I generally recommend students to remember is to remember reference notes, and I usually use C as a reference. So this is middle C. This is the C that is 1 octave lower than middle C. Okay, and this is the C that is 2 octave lower than middle C. So if I call this C4, this will be C3, this one will be C2. So if we know that this is C, this note is lower than this note. So this is C, then go down, it will be B. So this will be B. Okay. Next, let's look at this note here. There's B flat and E flat, but this note is A. So it is just A because there's no A flat in the key signature. Moving on to 2.1D. So this note here is C. Okay. And this note here is B flat. Okay. Remember I said that remember reference notes. So I would ask students to remember this is middle C. Okay, so if this is C4, this is 1 octave higher, this is C5, and this is 2 octave higher than middle C, and this is C6. And this B flat, this note is 1 note lower than this C, so it's C, B. Okay, and because there's a flat, this is B flat. Okay, and this note here is F sharp. Next, take the correct clef to make each of the named notes. So this one, if I want it to be A, it should be treble clef, because if it's bass clef, this is middle C. Next, I want this note to be B, so it's also treble clef, because if it's bass clef, it is D. Next, in 2.3, you're asked to rewrite the notes in the new clef, keeping the pitch the same. Okay, so if you're very familiar with the notes already, you can straight away tell that, oh, this is G, so this is G. But if you're not familiar with the notes, what do you do for this question? Well, you will use middle C as a reference, right? So this is C, and this is middle C, right? So now I go C, then B, A, G. So it's C, B, A, G. So it's this note here. Okay. Okay. Same thing for this. Okay, for B, if you're to use, so if you know this directly, you know that this is E. So it's this note here. If not, you will use middle C as a reference. So there's C, then D, then E. Okay, then if you use this is C, D, E. So there's E here. Okay. Alright, let's move on to this. So this is A, right? Or you can move C, B, then A. So it's C, this is also middle C, then this is B, then this is A. So this is the note that is equal to this. Okay, now let's take a look at this. This is D, so if you want to write it, you can write it here. Or you can count it from middle C. This is C, and this is the next note higher than middle C. So next note higher than middle C, D. So this is D. Okay. Alright, let's move on to section 2.4. So you're asked to circle true or false. So this is F natural, and this is the same C, D, E, F. This is F sharp, okay? Remember, you have natural, sharp, and flat. So this one is the highest. Okay, for the same note, okay? The flat is the lowest of the three, and the natural is in between. So the first note is lower than the second note. It is true because natural is lower than sharp, right? Okay. Next, the second note, okay, let's look at B. So this is B flat, and this is B natural. So we know that flat is lower than natural. So the second note is lower than the first note is not true because the natural is higher than flat. So it's false. Next, this is D flat and this is D natural. So they say that this second note here is higher than the first note, which is true because natural is higher than flat. Okay. Let's move on to 3.1. So tick one box to show the correctly written key signature of A major. So A major has 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. Okay, and the F sharp must be here, the C sharp must be here, and the G sharp must be here. So this is the correct answer. Okay, so if you look at this one is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, but this G sharp shouldn't be here, it should be here. This G sharp here, so this is wrong. Okay, the rest are not F, C, and G sharp. Next, B flat major. Tick one box to show the correctly written key of B flat major. So for B flat major, you have B flat and E flat, right? And the B flat is this B flat, not this B flat. So this is out. B flat and E flat. So this is correct. The rest are not B flat and E flat. So you must start off with B flat, then E flat. Cannot be E flat, then B flat. Okay? This one is D flat and G flat, which is also out. So this is the correct answer. Next, let's look at 3.3. So tick 3 boxes. So you need to tick 3 boxes to show which notes need an accidental to create a melody in D major. So for D major, we have F sharp and C sharp, right? So basically, I need to find 3 boxes where there are F and C. So this is D, this is C. So C needs a sharp, so I need a sharp here. D, A. Then this A, B, C. So C needs a sharp, this one needs. Then this one is D, D, F, F sharp. F needs a sharp, so this one needs a sharp. D, E, D. So these are the 3 notes that require a sharp. Okay. Moving on to 3.4, circle the correct key of each of the 2 melodies. So to do this type of questions, right, first write out what are the accidentals you have. So I have D sharp here, F sharp here, and D sharp. So remember, if you have F sharp and you want D sharp, you need F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, right? But there is no there's no G sharp here. The G is nothing, right? So very likely I have an F sharp and D sharp is the 7th note. Okay, so which key has F sharp in their key signature? Well, it is G major and E minor, right? And for E minor, the 7th note is D sharp. So this key here is E minor. Next, let's move on to B to find what key it is. So now I have B flat here. So B flat only. So which key has B flat? Well, it is F major. Okay. And you also have D minor, which also has B flat. Okay, but there's no D minor, so F major. Okay, next. Circle true and false for this statement. So this is the 5th degree of E flat major. So E, F, G, A, B. B is the 5th, but because E flat major has B flat, E flat, and A flat, so B should be a flat. So yes, it is correct. B flat is the 5th degree of the scale of E flat major. So 3.5 is true. Okay. Next, let's look at 3.6. You are asked which is the correctly written scale of E flat major descending. So in E flat major, you have B flat, E flat, and A flat. Okay. So let's first start by checking whether we have E flat at the start and the end. So this one I have E flat at the start, I have E flat at the end. Good. This one is C. This is treble clef, so this is C. So this is out. Here I have E flat at the start, but I also need E flat at the end. So this is out. So without doing anything else, I know that this is correct. Okay. Of course, you can also go on to check that it has B flat and A flat, which is true here. So this is the correct answer. Okay, next, you are asked, tick 2 boxes to show the 2 pairs of notes in the scales which are a semitone apart. So you notice that there's B flat as well as E flat. So if you have B flat and E flat, this is B flat major, right? Okay, and whenever you have a major key, right, when do you have a semitone apart? It is when you are going from the 3rd to the 4th note, and you are going from the 7th to the 8th note, or to the 1st note. Okay, so we know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, right? Okay, so we know that this is descending, so I go 1, then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and I know that going from the 3rd to the 4th is a semitone. Okay, and from the 7th to the 8th note, or the 7th to the 1st note, is a semitone apart. So that is how you can do it. Or you can just check by semitone. B flat to A is right beside each other, so they are semitones apart. Okay, now let's move on to 3.8. So you need to put a cross, okay, for 2 incorrect notes in the scale. So you have A minor and it's harmonic. So A minor, it has no key signature. Okay, but the 7th note, which is G, you need to sharpen it. So in other words, you need to sharpen G, but they did not, so this is wrong. But apart from that, apart from G sharp, you should not have any other flat or sharp, so this is also wrong. Okay, it should be just C, natural or C. Okay, next, 3.9. So you need to take one box for X and one box of Y to show which note are needed to complete D major. So this is D major descending. So this is D. Then, so D major has F sharp and C sharp, okay, as the key signature. So when I'm going down is D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D. Okay, so I need C sharp at X and I need E at Y. Okay, section 4, you are asked what is the intervals, okay, and correct number of each interval. So you just need to count the number, right? So, and this is F major. So it's B, C, D, E. So it's a fourth, okay? Or you can look at this B, C, D, E. So it's a fourth. Then E, F, G, A, B, C, D. 1, 2, 3, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, so it's 7. A to E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5th. G to D flat. G, A, B, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D to C sharp. So D to D is 8, right? So 1 less than 8 is 7th. Okay. Or you can do it this way. D, E, B, F, G, A, B. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Okay, then this is definitely a second. Whenever you see notes written this way, right? This way, right? And so on. Okay. It's definitely a second. Just look out for the pattern. Okay, but B to C, B, then C already. So it's second. Alright. Then F to G also a second. Then this one is B flat to B flat. Okay, 8th. A, B, C, third. A is 1, B is 2, C is third. Okay. Now I have D to B. D is 1, E is 2, F is 3, G is 4, A is 5, B is 6. Okay, next let's look at tonic triad. So true or false. This is the tonic triad of D minor. So D, D, F, A, correct. Then let's check. D minor has the same key signature as F major, which is B flat. So don't need anything here. So this is true. Next, this is the tonic triad of F major. So I should start off with F, right? But this start off with A, so it's wrong. So it's false. Okay, so next, let's go on to the next question. So you are asked to add one missing note to complete each triad with the tonic as the lowest note, add accidentals if necessary. So this is B flat major, so you have B flat already and you have F, so you need a D here. Okay, and B flat major only have B flat and E flat, so D is just D. A major, you have C sharp and E, so the next note you need is A, so A here. Okay. Then E minor, you need E, G, and B. Then E minor is the same as G major for key signature. So you only have F sharp. So don't need to put any accidentals here. Okay, next. Circle the correct key for each tonic triad. So this one is G. The lowest note is G, so it's G major. This one is D, so it's D major. D, F sharp, A. This one is E flat, G, B flat. E flat is the lowest, so it's E flat. Then this one is F is the lowest note, so it's F major. This is C, this is A, C, E, so it's A minor, okay? If it's A major, you need a C sharp, okay? But if it's A minor, it's just A, C, E. So this is the tonic triad for A minor. Alright, let's go on to terms and signs. So for this section, it's basically just memorizing the terms and signs lah. Okay, so now let's look at molto. Molto means very or much. Okay, this one, you have a staccato with a slur. It means slightly separated. Dalsegno means repeat from the sign, and this is the sign. Okay, dolce means sweet. Okay, allegretto means fairly quick. All right. Okay, next let's look at 7, which is music in context. Okay, so you are asked to look at this melody and then answer the questions that follows. Okay, so now let's take a look at this. Circle true or false. So all the notes in bar 1 to 4 can be found in E minor. So let's look at E minor. So E minor and G major has the same key signature, which is F sharp. Okay, so yes, there is a key signature of F sharp. Then for minor, the 7th note, okay, for the harmonic scale is D sharp. So if I see a D, I should put a sharp. So, okay, I don't see any accidentals except for these two. Let's check, are they D sharp? So yes, this is D sharp, this is D sharp. Okay, so yes, all the notes can be found in E minor. So the answer is true. Okay, 7.2, tick one box to show how many times the 7th degree of the scale occurs. So 7.1 already tells you a clue that it is in E minor, right? And E minor, the 7th note is D sharp. So let's look how many D sharps there are. So I see 1 D sharp, 2 D sharp, 3 D sharp, 4 D sharp, 5 D sharp. Okay, so it is just 5 times. So the answer for 7.2 is 5. Okay, next, complete the following 3 sentences by ticking one box each. So now you're asked, what is the highest note in the melody? So if you want to look for the highest note, the highest up in the music step. So if you look at here, the highest note here is E. Okay, let's check, is there any other notes higher than this E here? Okay, no, 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 no. So the highest note here is simply E. Okay, the softest note in the melody is in which bar? So you have P, then go up, still P, then the softest is PP, so it's bar 8. The notes in bar 2 have the same rhythm as the notes in, so let's look at bar 2. So bar 2 is basically all quavers, right? So all quavers. So bar 2 and bar 5 are the same. They are all 8 quavers in that bar. So bar 2 and bar 5 have the same rhythm. So the answer is bar 5. Okay, so now we have completed the practice paper or the sample paper from ABRSM. So if you are interested in how to tackle each and every section, okay, then do check out my course, link in description below.